Good morning, everyone. Today, I'd like to do a video about the art of negotiation. Now, when I say negotiation, I think most people think like the images come to mind of being cutthroat, being manipulative, trying to figure out leverage the upper hand. And I'd like to turn that myth on its head a little bit today and talk about really what is truly effective when it comes to negotiations. So before I was a real estate agent, I actually was a relationship coach for over a decade. My focus was in effective communication, conflict resolution. I use that every day in real estate. Because what's hard to remember in negotiations is that it's really about relationships. There are people on the other side of that transaction, and it's really about collaboration and trying to figure out how both sides can come to an agreement. So my first tip is create an environment of goodwill and camaraderie. There is no telling how far creating goodwill in a transaction will get you. We've all had situations, I think, in life where you just can't, get to the same page with somebody, those high tension moments, stressful environments. Think about how much easier those moments are if you've already have a history of trust with that person. And there's ways to create goodwill that have nothing to do with the actual monetary value of the house or how high your offer is. So that leads me to point number 2, which is get to know the other side of your transaction. Get to know as much as you can about their backstory, their motives for selling or moving, and just what's going on in their lives. Because often you can make your offer more attractive in ways that don't have to do with the value. Like, let's say they're talking about they're really stressed out about the moving process and they may need a few more days here. That's no skin off our back to give them that. So we're already showing that we're willing to work with them and we have respect for their needs. This stuff goes so far because when you make an offer on a house, that's only, and you get mutual acceptance, that's just one part of it. Then it will take 3 to 4 weeks to close, and sometimes, often longer than that. And things do come up, like a moving truck will accidentally drive through a flower bed, or a leak will happen that wasn't there before. Navigating those things are so much easier coming up with creative solutions when you respect each other. So that brings me to my next point, which is know when to play hardball. There will be moments where we do have to be highly strategic and we do have to play hardball and draw a line. So when we reach that high tension moment, again, so much easier if there's a baseline of trust. I have transactions where we never have to play hardball, where we understand their needs, we figure out an offer that fits our needs, and everything works out. So don't assume because you're in a real estate transaction that we have to become cutthroat right away. And if you play hardball too early in your offer, if you're asking things that are unreasonable right away, then it's just going to be more difficult the whole transaction. So just be clear when we're playing hardball. Next, I would say when it is time to be strategic, avoid triggery language, avoid talking about your emotional motives. It's better to just state it as it is and to be uncharged about it. When people are charged, when adrenaline is up, they can't make decisions, and then people will sometimes say no, even if it's in their best interest, just because they're triggered. So that's a big factor too. And last thing I wanted to say is remember that people are people. And so no matter how many strategies you have, at the end of the day, it comes down to who is that person. And they have their own opinions on what their house is worth. And even if their agent is telling them, hey, you need to price reduce or anything like this, that person may just be like, nope, I am not selling my house below this number. This is just what it is. There might be no room for negotiation there unless we can make them happy in other ways. So it's just remembering that understanding them the best you can is going to really help you know if your offer is going to offend them, if there's ways you can make them happy earlier on, and that really both sides at the end of the day can win. So that's kind of my spiel about negotiations. I could get into more details, but I just thought it was a good reminder for people out there in this process. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I'm Adam Foley. I do real estate around the Puget Sound.